Super Bowling was made by a developer called Kid and was published in Japan by Athena and North America by Technos. Sometimes it's unofficially called Super Turkey Bowling, as the game and its cover is full of cartoon humanised turkeys, strangely enough. I have quite a history with this game. Basically it came into my life when I saw it in my local games shop called Games World. It was a Japanese copy and it was sat there for the low price of £5 for the cartridge. The main thing that drew me to it was that it was a cheap game. It's something I could grab with my pocket money, and it turned out I didn't actually have to pay for it as my brother stumped at the money and got it for me. He knew I'd played a lot on a Neo Geo arcade game called League Bowling, and he was basically hoping that this would be something a little bit like that. In the game there are 3 modes. The first is called Turkey Bowl and is basically the main game, and it's straightforward bowling. Then there's a golf mode which gives you a set situation with certain pins to knock down in a different formations. You get a different number of throws or par to give it the golfing term to get them all down by. It's a neat little attempt at something a little bit different. It's nice to see them throw another mode in that's not, regular bowling. And the last mode is Practice, which basically allows you to set up whatever pins you like so you can train yourself for the best way to knock down pins in different situations, and that is, it's nice. It's a nice addition. The bad part, there's no story mode, league mode or air characters to play against to give this any real longevity as a single player game. All you can really do is play rounds of bowling again and again to try and get better at it and to try and get a higher score. Where this game shines though is in its funny cartoon presentation and then the fun you can have with it as a party game. Get 4 of you around this game laughing and competing, and it can become just as good as stable of multiplayer SNES parties as Super Bomberman, NBA Jam or Street Fighter 2. The gameplay is not unlike a pad-controlled version of Wii Sports Bowling. You pick your bowler, which hand they'll use, what way the ball will be, and then when it comes time to throw you get to control where you'll throw it, the power you put into it, and if you want to try and put any kind of spin on it. When you score spares or strikes, there are short cartoon animations of little dragons flying over your head or angels shooting devils with a bow and arrow, and it really adds to the cartoonish glee of the game. Now, as I said, I own the Japanese cartridge, and I thought that all these little cartoon dragons floating in the air, beers being grabbed in your hand, would be in the American version. When I reviewed this, I honestly thought they would be. I'd never seen anyone say they weren't. But when I came to take footage of this game, I loaded up an American ROM and actually find that although you've got the turkeys in there holding pens like they're commentating, some of the little cute touches like the flying dragons over your head and that have been removed, which was a real shame. With this in mind, I know it's only tiny little cosmetic touches, but I have to favour the Japanese version. Okay, to cut to the chase, what would I score this game? Well, I'd give it a respectable 7 out of 10. I'd score it higher if they'd added more to the single player game, but as it stands it's a great piece to play with friends. But whether that's necessary or not now that we live in a world with Wii Sports and Wii Sports U, which are easy to get hold of, that's up to you. But I do wish someone had used the powers of the Wii to make a modern version of this game. Yeah, I love Wii Sports Bowling, but I think there's room for something with cartoon turkeys twirling in the air, crazy tunes and fun anime style characters. I think the fact that to my knowledge no one made a crazy but good bowling game for the Wii like this is a real good shame. Okay, so if you're interested in Super Bowling, it seems you can grab the US version for about £10. And I've even seen boxed versions for about £15. But obviously I'm going to say go for the Japanese version. I've seen loose cartridges of that going for a £5 still to this day. And there's no language barrier and it has a few more visuals that are cool. There is no PAL version of this game, so if you have an English SNES and you don't have the ability to pay imports, then either you've got to forget about this one or you've got to look into what you could do to rectify that situation. There's all kinds of things like Daytel universal adapters, console mods, but really that's up to you. But if you have friends and you want a good game to play and you have the ability to play imports, then I strongly recommend you go for this. It's a good laugh and cheap entry price. Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.